Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Escape Champions League. We are here with the Southeast Asia 3v3 stage, and we're in the Escape TV studio. Robo and I are in the control booth today.
Yep, we're in our little special office room.
This
where
is
we
this is where the
organize
magic
stuff.
happens.
Yeah.
That's what if this was MTV Cribs, this would be the bedroom. Yeah, we sometimes plug Robo in here to charge.
Yep.
And
A lot
yeah.
of PowerPoints for me. Quite like it.
This is where it all happens, right here. So we're actually at the streaming PC today because ECL wasn't really designed for the studio. So we used the control booth and the office space because it's toastier in here, and we don't have to heat the whole place up. We can just heat our little box and do it all from the office.
It's a bit more relaxed for us in this space.
A little bit. Although now we've got the camera and stuff, we won't have this on in the game because obviously the whole idea of ECL is no interaction.
No, just game.
Game. That's what you guys came for. That's what we're going to have today. Starting with Frantic versus SY, followed by Secret VNA, AM Heresy, BZK Suomi, back-to-back Age of Empires 2 action with 8 of the best teams in the world. What more could you want?
All 8 of them here in the studio playing live.
That would be cool, actually. Yeah. Maybe one day, maybe in the future, maybe, I have a dream that one day my children will watch Age of Empires from the comfort of the studio. But yeah, this is going to be 3v3s today, Yeti Hill. Mm-hmm. And before we start, big shout out to Number 005 and Giuseppe551. Thank you guys for the subs. We really appreciate that. And Dark Age Public Education with the 150 bitties. Party 150. All right.
I'm down for a party.
I'm down for a party. And we're going to have a little bit of a party. We're going to have an Age of Empires party today.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're bringing you here live from the studio. And we'll take a look, I think, first of all, at the standings because
it's really heating up.
It is.
Towards the end of ECL.
Is. Look at that. I mean, you say toward the end. We're sort of 60% of the way through.
We're getting there.
We're toward the last leg.
Yeah.
And there's 5 points separating the second to 5th place. SY with 30, Frantic with 29, Suomi with 27, and AM with 25. It is hot for that second spot.
It's really exciting, and especially the thing is SY and Frantic are playing against each other, right? So one of these two teams is not getting any points whatsoever.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So there's going to be changes in the standings, basically guaranteed.
There has to be, because, as you say, if SY knock out Frantic, then Frantic is scoring no points. If Frantic knock out SY here, then they score no points, and Suomi and AM can definitely make a lunge here for second place. Or SY or Frantic could try to get their push to the second place. But do SY and Frantic also share the same side of the bracket as Team Secret? That is something that we will have to check in a second. But Team Secret, obviously, 47 points. They are well and truly clear of the rest of the pack. And it looks very likely that they've secured their spot in the grand final at this point in time.
I don't think it's possible for them to not make it.
No.
Maybe if really crazy results happen, but incredibly unlikely.
So looking at this bracket here, Frantic SY meet in round 1, and then assuming Secret beats VNA, we don't know, but I mean, just looking at the stats and how things have gone so far,
that's quite likely.
It's a safe assumption, but they will meet Secret in the semifinals. Mm-hmm. Now, if they get past Secret, one of them will score big and solidify their second place spot this week, assuming,
for sure,
depending on how it goes. But in the bottom side of the bracket, you've got AM and Suomi. Now, whoever wins between AM and Suomi, assuming that they get to the semifinals, they're going to have a huge shot at second place here. Now, obviously, Bazookas and Heresy haven't performed so well this tournament so far, down in 7th and 8th position, but we should never count them out. BZK are a fantastic team on paper, but they just haven't had the results.
Right. And the same for Heresy. Now that they've picked up Dogao and Miguel, together Melkor and Lan, the 4 of them could be a pretty strong team, especially if they put in the work, practicing the maps, preparing strategies. They could have a good shot at upsetting someone.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we see here is Heresy and BZK not doing the best, but they are going to be working their way up if they manage to get a point, but or a win. But I think it's going to be hard.
Heresy could still make second spot for the LAN if all of the results line up perfectly.
What, and they just win every single stage?
They would have to win every single stage, and then SY, Frantic, Suomi, AM lose as many of them as possible.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen, is it?
Probably not going to happen.
History,
theoretically, it is possible.
Yeah, well, history has shown that that Secret, SY, Frantic, Suomi, and AM are sort of in a league of their own at the moment, with VNA, BZK, and Heresy just, they're staying in there. They might be able to, find a win here or there, but still, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, if those wondering why we're streaming the games now, we've done this since the very start of the tournament, and we will continue to do it for the rest of the tournament. We will stream every Saturday all of the games that are available to stream, and all of the matches will be shown back to back, because not everyone is going to catch all of the games live, and we're covering them for consistency's sake. All of them will go up on our YouTube channel from the start to the finish of the event, and we will cover every single match, no matter what, even if they are a little bit late. So I'm going to whack the headset on, and we're going to take a look at our first match, Frantic SY. Now, let's have a look at what we've got here. Best of 3, first map, Atoll. Second map, Enemy Archipelago, and third map, Descent Ring.
Interesting maps. Enemy Archipelago has only just come into the map pool. It replaced Eastern Coastline in the map pool.
It has,
so just a minor change there, and this is going to be, I think, really interesting, especially for these two teams, because I think the Chinese players sort of have a reputation for scrappy, aggressive play styles.
Yeah.
And Enemy Archipelago is basically 3 1v1s happening on their own little separate islands.
Right, exactly. Right. Which is really fun.
It's going to be
great
insane,
idea.
I think. And I think it suits their play style so well, where they can all just sort of go head to head, try to see who's the most, I guess, dirty, who can do the most trushes, who can do the most damage quickly, and then
maybe if someone wins their island, they'll take over and start to help out with water support or something.
And
or
then you
landings.
see the guy who loses having to transport all of his bills away to hide with one of his allies.
Yeah, well, that's Enemy Archipelago. We're going to see that in game number 2 for sure, since this is a best of 3, and game 1 and 2 will certainly be played. Descent Ring is always fun in team games, but we might not get that far, and Atoll will certainly be our first game here anyway. So we'll launch the first game up in a moment. I'm looking forward to seeing Atoll. We saw it a lot in the 1v1 stage of the tournament.
It was very, very overplayed.
It was popular, overplayed perhaps, but in 3v3 it's definitely going to take on a different form. So let's launch the game and see what we've got. Yeah, the webcam's slightly out of sync, but we're only using it for the section out of the game here. We are actually in the studio today, but we're just in the control booth, since we don't want to use the whole studio when it's just me and Robo. So here we go. We are launching our first game, and we'll be going into game in just a moment here.
Here we go, and the game has started.
Yep, that's right. We're in, and we have Frantic versus SY in the 3v3 stage of the Escape Champions League. And I'm wondering if I've got game sound or not here. I'm just going to check that. Yep, I have. It's just very, very, very quiet, but that's okay. Let us know if the game sound is too low or too high. We can always adjust that on the fly here. But yeah, we've got our first 3v3 event going on, first 3v3 match. Frantic SY, 2 solid contenders for second place in the tournament in the league right now, and they're coming face to face in the first round of 8 in this stage. Let's call it this stage.
We've got everything to fight for in every game here. They're not going to call GG early. They're not going to, do any silly plays. They're going to do whatever they can to win this game and the next game and maybe the game after that.
Yeah, well, they're going to go all out, that's for sure, because there's a lot on the line for both of these teams. This could be the start of the end if one of them loses here. So we'll have to watch very carefully and see how they both sort of play. I guess they're going to try and play smart, but they're also going to try and play very, very cautiously as well. So let's introduce the teams. For Team Frantic, on the left flank, it's Vivi. He's playing in the red as the Malay. The pocket player in the yellow is CL. He's playing as the Mayans. And then on the right flank, it's Tim playing in the teal as the Portuguese.
Okay, and then for the other side, for SY on the right-hand flank, we have Lix in the purple for the Malay. His pocket is, the Yo, Mr. Yo, the Titan of SY, playing as the Mayans in green. And then finally we have Yinghua. He's there in the blue as the Portuguese.
And that's interesting. Both teams have a Mayan pocket. And then on the flanks, it's Portuguese versus Malay.
On both
and
sides.
Then on the other side, it's Portuguese versus Malay as well, but it's flipped over. So both teams have gone for the same civs here, which means that they've both strategized and they've both sort of come to the same conclusion that this is the civ combo that they think is best for this map.
For sure. Because it is definitely a water map, right? You can see that a good, 40% of the map is covered in water. So fishing is super important. Having the Malay and the Portuguese especially as two pretty good water civs is so important. But then you've also got the Mayan powerhouse to try to push into the middle, take the mainland where there's all this gold and stone and extra resources.
Yeah, exactly. And the middle on this map is going to be much larger. We saw this map a lot in the 1v1 stage, and the middle could still be ranged, from the shorelines.
A little bit.
Quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
But this map, because it's larger, since it's 3v3, the middle of the map has a lot of resources, but it's also a lot safer from the edges as well. So a lot of this gold and stone can't be ranged, and the Mayan player probably going to be looking forward to try and take over the middle of the map here and try and control that, while the other players maybe try and do some aggression from the water and try and win the water and perhaps move on to support them in the middle later on.
I'm really expecting to see some sort of like a fish boom from the pockets, and then the two flanks, their main job is to protect the pockets fish and try to kill the enemy pockets fish.
Yeah.
Because the Mayan player's got, 30 fishing ships. He can fast imp while booming at the same time, right? Because he's got so much food income. And he can easily try to pressure the middle with plumed archers and castles and trebs and stuff.
And I do wonder if we'll potentially see some sling as well, but I think with water map like this, it's probably too important to try and win the water that you're not going to sort of sacrifice one player fighting for the water in favor of slinging.
And I don't think that's likely, right? Because having 30 fishing ships as pocket is so powerful. Obviously the sling is worth more resources altogether, but you're still a player down, right? So it's a little riskier, I think, because you have to win the game with the sling quickly, or else the enemy team's just going to fish boom really hard. They're going to have 40 or 50 fishing ships each, maybe, and then they're just going to overwhelm you later if you don't win the game quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. The map here is Atoll. And we saw this a lot, as I said, in the 1v1 stage. It's obviously going to take a very different form in the 3v3. And we see Tim here out in the middle of the map. He's brought a villager over, and they're having a little scuffle here with the scouts in the center of the map. Yo and Yinghua grouping together, while Tim is sort of being protected by CL a little bit, and they're going to have to bring over Vivi's scout as well. And I'm wondering what the plan with this villager is. Obviously, it's quite early to send it forward.
It looks like they're just doing some sort of crazy walls
in
the middle, just trying to wall off the enemies from getting into the middle altogether. We saw this a lot in the 1v1s, but then there's only a single passage you need to wall, right? If you want to do it in a team game, you have to wall off 3 different people over a much larger area of space.
Yeah, that's true. And I think the idea here is perhaps for Tim to try and just block out Lix and block out the other players from being able to get into the middle of the map too easily. But already Lix is up to the feudal age. That's much quicker than anyone else in the game so far. Obviously, he's the Malay, so he's gone up with just 20 villagers, actually, and gone up very quickly, favoring that speed over having perhaps the extra economy so that he can start his aggression onto Tim just a little bit faster and have the upper hand there.
Well, I feel like if you recognize that you've got Malay versus Portuguese, I think he's probably scouted that Tim is his opposite flank. You really want to use that speed bonus, because the Portuguese ships, they've got a little bit more HP. Long game, their ships are probably a bit better, so you want to try to use your speed advantage to get as much damage in quickly as you possibly can. And I expect would be seeing the same on the other side with really Diao or Vivi trying to push against the blue player.
Yeah, so we can see that both flanks here are going to be going at it right away with fire galleys, demo rafts on both sides. Lick's by far the fastest though, and his fire galley is already at Tim's dock before Tim's first fire galley is even 50% complete. So it looks like Lick's will be able to get onto those fishing ships quite quickly, but I don't know if he'll be able to kill them. Obviously they have a little bit of extra health, and the fire galley doesn't do too much damage, and Tim of course has plenty of time to react to this as well. He's even sending the fishing ship in, fight my minions.
It's just a little bit of idle time really.
Yeah, it's nothing too bad, and you know the fire ships from Tim are going to pop out, and that should give Tim the advantage straight away.
Well, the problem is that though, Lix is targeting down a single fire galley, whereas Tim was attacking 2 different ones.
You got to be very careful with those kind of engagements, right? You got to fight smart. And it looks like Lix's ships are both on half health, but one of Tim's ships is maybe a little bit lower, as Lix is focusing down on one. Nice micro from Lix there, and that's going to give Lix the advantage. Oh, no, I don't think it is. He's still trying to micro. This is good. If he micros successfully, he could still beat Tim's fire galley. But
even just sending a single fire galley like this into the pockets fish, if he can find them,
could
is
be
enough
annoying.
Just to harass CL a little bit, just annoy him a little bit.
Oh, that's true. With 10 health, it doesn't look like CL has his own his own fire ships.
Right. He doesn't want to. He just wants to make fishing ships and go castle age. He doesn't want to waste resources making fire galleys and demo rafts and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the left side, we've got the engagement as well. The demo raft from Yinghua coming out, and he's immediately going to force Vivi back. And yes, I nearly said Yinghao because you've tainted me. You've ruined it.
It's working, slowly getting in there.
But there you go. Lix is going to be harassing the fish. He nearly takes one out, actually, but he's going to get cleaned up by that fire galley from Tim. So Tim keeping his teammates safe, but Lix coming through with another one.
I don't know where that came from, but he's here now.
I think it kind of went through the middle of the map, to be honest. And actually, we'll talk about this in a moment. But so far, no ships down for CL. He's on 12 fish, while the other pocket, Yinghua, is actually, Yo is actually only on 7. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but I think what actually happened there was Lix just went over here, he went over here, and he went through this way. Yeah, he's just using the front passage rather than the back passage.
Nice, that's sneaky.
It's very sneaky. And
I feel like this is a giveaway though, he shouldn't be attacking that wall. That tells the Frantic team, hey look, I'm just running through the middle here to sneak around your army. I think that's not the best play for him at this point.
That's true, and we could see CL losing a few fish, but to be honest, they probably already paid for themselves. And what's kind of, I guess, worrying in a way is that CL's already up to the castle age now, but Mr. Yo beat him by a landslide. And that's mostly, I think, because Mr. Yo perhaps didn't fish boom so hard.
As hard.
Because that, fish booming, it gives you the bigger eco, but it also slows you down a little bit because you have to invest the resources first. I think Mr. Yo in a pretty good position to be up this fast and starting to build a castle in the middle and start to take over the middle of the map. Yeah. I wonder if Tim saw that.
He'll see it when the castle goes up and his villager dies.
Well, yeah, his villager's going to die. He sees the villagers here with this villager, but Tim won't see the castle. Yeah, now he will.
He sees it.
And he's X'd it for his teammates as well. So Tim giving his info to his teammates there. And look at CL's fish now. They've been displaced over to the right side of his island because they're losing the water over here by the looks of things.
Well, we say losing, but really all that it is a couple of fire galleys that have snuck in there, right? Tim still has his own military. You think he's got almost the highest military in the game at this point, right? He has tons of boats out there. They just happen to not be in the right position at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mr. Yo here is going to get that castle up. On the left side, the fighting is still going strong on the water. This left flank has been much more structured, hasn't it? Oh,
those are some good demos.
Good demo hits, but I think that's still going to favor Yinghua in the long run, as he still has more fire galleys out, although there is another demo raft coming in, but it will be wasted. So it's been much more structured and much more like, okay, we're just going to have a gentleman's agreement to stand and fight here, rather than trying to do sneak plays through the middle of the map like Lix did. But CL has got his castle here now, so any ships trying to come through here will get a fistful of arrows to the face. And meanwhile, Mr. Yo, much more an aggressive takeover of the middle of the map here.
Right. And we've just seen Yinghao slinging Mr. Yo a little bit of golden food. So it looks like he's going to try to go up to Imp pretty quickly. And Tim's also slinging.
Tim's also slinging a little bit too.
Okay. As soon as he's clicked up himself, he's like, okay, you take my extra resources, you get Imp as quickly as possible. We need you in the middle. to secure the land.
But look at Mr. Yo.
Look at him
one
go.
step ahead again. And this is a problem now because although CL has just clicked up as well, Mr. Yo's still got the edge slightly.
Slightly.
I thought it would be more, to be honest. I thought he had more of an edge. And then CL clicked up.
15
so,
seconds, it's really not important.
Do you think it's interesting that both Portuguese players are slinging, though? Keeping the Malay players to perhaps fight for the water?
Well, we say that, but Tim is still up to castle age, right?
That's true.
So he's not giving up by any chance. He's coming around the back. He's trying to do some raiding on the Yo's docks, but Lix is here to defend that.
Yeah, good teamwork by both teams here to protect the pocket's fish, really. But CL has this huge 10 fishing lead, which is massive. And that could actually start to snowball a little bit. There is a huge amount of fish on this map. And at the moment, CL's fish are pretty untouched. So
there's some raiding in the middle, though. Oh, is that a denied castle?
Perfect timing for Mr. Yo. That is huge. And yeah, it is. That castle they're going to be deleted. That's huge. And Mr. Yo's going to start getting some kills here, start pushing CL back. CL wasn't quite expecting to be faced with that many plumed archers, and Mr. Yo even has Bodkin arrow here as well, so able to clean up quite a lot, but unfortunately dying a little bit to the castle there.
It still slowed CL down a lot because he had to delete the castle. He doesn't have enough stone for another one now. And I would assume that Yo is going to be dropping another castle somewhere in the middle pretty soon.
He should be adding his second castle, yeah. I mean, he's got the stone now. He might even put it right there.
Yeah.
Just like, yep, you know what? I'm just going to put it right where you wanted it. But nah, he's going to go even further forward. He's obviously feeling confident. Now, it's interesting because both players are up at around the same time, but CL is going to have a lot more fish. However, he's still behind by 10 vills. Mr. Yo's
he lost
eco
about
is
10
solid.
vills there, to be honest, trying to build that castle.
That, and also the fact Mr. Yo has 2 TCs in the middle, whereas CL has 1 TC right now. So Mr. Yo taking a bit more of an economy approach. CL's going to rely on his fish, but Mr. Yo should start to get the advantage in villagers to counteract that fishing boom advantage from CL. So it could be quite a close fight for the middle here.
I think especially having the 2 castles to 1 advantage for Yo is incredibly significant at this point. He's going to Trebs out faster. He can start to take down CL's castles that much faster. Oh, that was a lovely
Mr. Yo's
flip.
micro here has been really spot on, actually. He's really abusing the fact that he had Bracer first to just pick away at those plumes, and the second castle is going to be denied.
Again.
Oh no, this is a Titanic for CL. Mr. Yo's play with these plumed archers has been fantastic.
Honestly, I'm not sure if CL can get back from this spot.
Well, I don't know if he can stabilize now.
He can't.
2 castles
He doesn't want to delete that castle because that's like 70% or something.
Yeah, 70%.
Basically. It's starting to get Treb down though. There's not much he can do to defend it at this point.
Damn.
What, is he going to like maybe switch into skirms or something?
Damn, Yo, you scary.
This is going to be rough.
Yeah, that castle's going down, and CL just lost so many plumes to the micro of Yo. He lost his mangonel as well. This is getting tough, and they're the only 2 players fighting for the middle, and to be honest, this is all that matters right now. We can forget about the water for the next 10 minutes of game time, because if
you don't have access to the middle...
Yeah, exactly.
You're
the
not
game's
win
over anyway,
game.
right? Exactly. It's like a migration. If Mr. Yo dominates the middle, there's no way that Frantic are getting here again later on. Even if they have all the fish in the world, it's going to be a really uphill battle.
Sure. And like as we said at the start, Galleons, they can range a little bit from the waterline, but they can't get everywhere.
Third
like
castle.
They could. Oh no.
Third castle from Mr. Yo.
I feel like this is definitely the death blow for CL.
Yeah, there it is right there. It's locking down so much gold and stone. What else is happening from Frantic on the land? Absolutely nothing. It's all on CL here. Maybe they could sling CL a bit harder, but he still doesn't have the stone. And without the stone, he can't make plumes. He can't make trebs. He's going to lose this treb war.
Right, it's 2 trebs versus 4.
Oh, and this is really nice as well, because obviously both teams playing from China, although you usually associate China with lag, in this case, both teams are going to have very little lag to each other as they're playing from the same place. And yeah,
that castle's
gone.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Oh dear.
Like, what can CL do from this point?
Well,
he can't really do anything.
No, he's not got any castle. He's got no production.
And he just build another castle.
Another
back
one.
A little bit.
Well, at least that'll force Mr. Yo to pack up his trebs, but CL has a single trebuchet. Mr. Yo knows he can win this fight now.
Oh, he gets a Mangonel
that's
just
not
before
too
the
bad.
Siege Workshop dies.
That's lucky, but the Mangonel's dead too, and
Right.
Mr. Yo wins
plume
this.
numbers.
It's over. I think that's GG right there, to be honest. I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on. We see some red dots on Blue's Island. And looks like we've got a landing attempt from Vivi here. He's sending some melee knights
And
into the
battle
back
elephants
of...
as well.
Oh, he did make a battle elephant. But
I think it's a little too late.
unfortunately, he's not going to do enough damage to Yinghua here. He scouted it and blocked it off.
He could completely defeat him, and SY would probably still win, I think.
Well, not unless they defeat Lix as well. You never know, right?
Okay,
But
maybe if they defeat both of the flanks, they can 3v1 Yo.
yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, I doubt. Oh, and that last castle as well.
The last castle's gone too, and that's it, right?
Yeah,
Like
that has to be GG.
Is that 4 castles from CL now denied, or not 3 castles denied?
And
one destroyed.
Yeah.
Ouch! He's going back home to build another castle and a second university. That must have been a misclick.
Trying to build a siege workshop probably.
Yeah.
But they're just gonna get trebbed down as well.
This castle is gonna die before he even makes like 5 plumes, probably.
He's trying to get conscription before it's too late. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. So Vivi's done a good job here, and I think that's because, remember, Yinghua started slinging Yo.
Yeah.
So Yinghua's not really making any army to defend himself. So Vivi's able to sort of, have his way with him over here. Lix, meanwhile, didn't sling anything, I believe. But he's also lost the water on the right side. So the water is great for Frantic. But as we said already, if you can have all the water in the game, doesn't matter if you're losing the land. And
oh,
if
and he doesn't get conscription.
Oh, rip. He's building another castle. So that's what, 2 castles down, 3 denied?
How does he afford all these castles?
CL's dead, man. CL is
He's
dead.
got less than
It's
30
over.
bills. Look at him. And this castle's going to get denied too, hopefully.
Hopefully?
Well, I don't say hopefully, but it'd be funny, right?
Well, it would be quite a record, I think. Oh, we got Onager, though, from CL. And he's trying to repair that Onager there, and Mystio will have to back away slightly. But, yeah, I think CL here being sent more resources, trying to use them as best he can, but he's basically out of the game. And as we said before, it doesn't really matter too much if you win the water now. You have to win the middle of the map in the end.
At some point. And then this is nice. Vivi has walled out. Oh no, that's his bonus. Okay, so Yo, instead of trying to save his ally, he's just going on the aggressive.
Oh, and he's actually going to go and transport around. I like that. Vivi losing like 5 vills instantly on that wood line.
No, the fire ships are here though.
Yeah,
no
but the plumes are in. Like, Vivi
yeah.
has no answer to these plumes. They're just going to run around his eco and pick villagers off endlessly.
One by one.
Yeah.
They're all going to go down.
And, oh, another castle did go up for CL. That did finish in the end. And now Mr. Yo will back away a little
Build
bit.
another castle just to secure that front.
He's already on 3. This will be his 4th.
Yeah, he is in a very powerful position.
Oh, and here we go. The capped rams coming through as well. So this is solid for SY. Vivi here trying to build a siege workshop, losing villagers to the plumed archers. He'll get the siege workshop up. Might go for a mangonel here, perhaps. But,
Probably, but the rams are going to come in and just destroy everything.
Yeah, it's
and more plumes. Yeah, this is bad.
Pretty much. I mean, wow, yeah, that's way too many plumes. We've seen Mr. Yo today already have some pretty top-tier micro. That's probably going to continue if a mangonel pops out in the siege workshop. I don't think he's going to be too worried about that at all.
Honestly, he can tank a mangonel hit and kill it, and he'll be fine.
But he can tank it because he's for A on a hill and B he has 65 health.
Right,
so,
exactly. Yeah, he doesn't care.
Well, he's off the hill now, but
even so, like one hit is okay. And then the rams are just going to destroy the siege workshop, destroy the TC, just take everything down.
Yep, GG called.
There we
Looks
go.
like Frantic have admitted their defeat here. And I got to say, to be honest with you, a little bit of a tough first game for Frantic there. They looked a little bit out of their depth, to be honest. They won the water. That was great. But ultimately, losing the land is a death sentence on this map. And Mr. Yo absolutely dominated that. Mr. Yo and CL sort of going head to head. Mr. Yo was a few seconds ahead every step of the way. And with CL losing that forward castle, it all sort of went downhill from there, really. Once that castle had been denied, he had to fall back. It was 2 castles versus 1. He couldn't get his second castle up because it kept getting denied. And Mr. Yo just sort of snowballed it out of control. So a really tough game for CL, and hopefully Frantic can sort of recover from that. Pretty demotivating to lose as hard as they did, I guess. But game 1 is over. Game 2 could all change. And I believe this was SY's home map as well.
Yes.
So
they chose Atoll. They decided, okay, this is our map. Clearly, they prepared for it. They knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
A little lucky getting the mine pocket because that is what they really want.
Oh,
but
but
still
both teams
fine.
got mine pocket,
Yeah,
so
it's even.
It's even in that respect. So yeah, I think that Mr. Yo there really did a great job overall. I think he didn't fish boom too hard. He instead focused a lot more on building his eco on the land, and just did, I guess, more like a typical Mayan play rather than changing it up too much for the map.
To be honest, he was a little bit lucky that he managed to find that forward castle from CL in just the right time and deny it. Like, if that castle had gone up, the game would be completely different. Yo might have still had an advantage pushing, but it wouldn't have been as fast.
But we say that that castle age upgrade, Mr. Yo had about a 15-second advantage. That was enough for him to have Bodkin arrow and win that fight.
Well, yeah. The thing is, he was getting Bracer at the same time CL was getting Bodkin.
Right.
So obviously that helped a little bit, but it's just if he'd scouted the right-hand passage into the left-hand one and didn't see the castle, right?
True.
It'd be a little bit different.
Well, it looks like SY will go ahead and win their home map. The next map, of course, will be Frantic's home map. And we'll take a look at that in a minute because we haven't seen that map yet in the tournament. It's a brand new map for the 3v3 stage. But here we see the nearly 2-to-1 KD for Mr. Yo.
Yep. Just the power of mines.
Yeah, it's crazy. And economy-wise, CL, even though he had all of those fish, Lix still outboomed him because he had the land economy. If you look at the villager count, Lix had 89 and CL only had 62. Doesn't matter about the fishing ships at that point.
Well, I feel like if CL had more of a hold in the middle, he would have started to add TCs at some point. But like as soon as the second castle was denied when he tried to push forwards, he didn't really have options to make TCs anywhere.
And actually, another interesting thing here. Look at Tim, and look at CL. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong person here.
CL and Yo.
No, I wanted to look at.
Tim was versus Lix.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the sling, right? So CL received 3,200 sling, and Mr. Yo received 4,600.
Yeah.
But Tim had the biggest economy in the game. And where was Tim that game?
Fighting on water a lot.
Yeah. Tim was fighting on the water instead of really ever doing anything in the middle on the land to stop Mr. Yo, right?
Well,
so he could
what are you going to do as the Portuguese?
Well, I know what are you going to do, but like he maybe instead of going for all these villas, he could have, I don't know, maybe he could have slung a little bit more to CL to try and help CL to stabilize faster.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe he could have, I don't know, made some knights and just added anything to just add numbers and buy CL some time that he could actually get that castle up. It was only about 10 plumed archers. If Tim had actually committed to making land aggression at that point.
Or actually like just as Yo hits him, 29 come out of
push.
nowhere.
I think Frantic misplayed, to be honest. All things considered, when you're looking at the economy here, I think Frantic perhaps misplayed just a little bit. SY still played great, but
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they needed to make that push on the land instead of letting Mr. Yo run all over CL, because Tim didn't sling anything that game.
Not a lot, no.
Well, okay, he slung a little bit, but
considering how much of an economy he had,
yeah, right.
That's true.
Anyway, that's Atoll. I really like to sort of talk about these other things, I guess, but I think our mics are very out of sync, so hopefully that's not too much of a problem. And we've got Enemy Archipelago up next. So
this is gonna be pretty crazy. I'm looking forward to it.
I think we'll just launch this game straight away. We'll get into this right away.
Straight up? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it.
You get to watch me move over to the other PC to start the game and then come back. That's not a very nice thing to say.
How do I ban this guy? There we go.
There we go.
Insta ban. How does it feel? Right, let's go in game. Here we are. Welcome back, everyone, to Game 2, Frantic versus SY. This is the game that matters now because, well, I guess they all matter, but if SY win this, then Frantic are eliminated in round 1. They get no points for the best of 3, and SY have a very good opportunity to sort of lock down that second spot and get ahead of Frantic once again. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But obviously Frantic won't go down without a fight. They lost the first game, but that was SY's home map. And Enemy Archipelago, a map which we haven't seen yet in this tournament, this is the first time we're seeing it, is Frantic's home map. So in theory, they will have the edge here, I suppose.
They would have prepared some sort of strategy. They have some idea of what they want to do long term on this map.
Yeah.
You know, they've got that information ready. Like, you would assume that SY have also prepared something for all the maps.
You would assume so,
but
yes.
It's possible that they aren't as ready for this map.
Yeah,
so it is a little bit of a crazy map.
Exactly, and let's talk about why the map is so crazy. Enemy Archipelago is a fantastic idea, and I think this is only made possible thanks to the user patch updates to the game, which basically allow you to change the sort of starting locations of players.
Yeah, you can choose exactly where the TC spawns for each individual player.
Yeah.
Depending on how many players there are.
And what does that mean? That means that there are 3 islands, and each island has 2 players from different teams on it.
Yeah.
Island in the south has Vivi against Yinghua. The island to the west has Lix versus Tim, and the island to the northeast has Xiaofan swapping in, and Mr. Yo. So it's essentially 3 simultaneous 1v1s.
islands.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because in a 3v3 especially, if 2 players from the same team win their islands, then it's almost like a 1v2 or 1v3 at that point, right?
Kind of.
I actually don't know what's going to happen, but I'm very interested to see how this plays out because this is very unusual and very different.
This map idea is based on one of the special maps from HD. I can't remember what it's called, but that one you're forced to only play 4v4s.
Yeah.
But thanks to user patch, we can now do it so it's variable. If there's a 2v2, there's 2 different islands. 3v3, 3 islands, etc., etc. Which gives you the added benefit of not having spare islands with no one on it.
So let's go through and see what the different sort of matchups look like. Move my phone over here in case it gets picked up by the stream. All right, so on the South Island, Vivi, he's got Spanish, and then Yinghua is the Huns. So that's Spanish Huns on the South Island. I like that for the Huns.
Yep, they're probably, I think, favored on this sort of a mixed water map, because like, if you want to be fishing, you might want to do a little bit of water raiding as well at the same time.
The bonuses sort of stack up in favor of the Huns in this matchup.
But if I think Vivi, like, you know Vivi's playstyle, he's probably going to do some sort of trush into conks, right?
With the Spanish, trushing is definitely on the cards here.
So if he can, like, full wall the middle of the map and get up and make conks in, like, the mid to late game, he could be a bit of a pain. And, you know, he could pull something off, because he is a pretty good Spanish player.
He could. We'll see how he sort of manages to do that. We might see some really early aggression from Yinghua, but it's looking unlikely since he's built a dock. Then on the left island, it's Lix is the Japanese, and Tim is the Huns. So Tim is for Frantic there, and Lix is for Team SY. So that's Japanese versus Huns. That's not so bad, I think, like in terms of the pure matchup. Japanese, obviously, fantastic fishing, really strong on the water,
For sure.
but also a pretty strong land civ anyway. And
I feel like if they get to the late game, the Japanese might be favored, right? They've got really good helbs. Huns want to make cavalry.
Yep.
They've got pretty good archery ranges with like skirms and arbalists that sort of count as the heavy cav archers. So
even to the early mid game, I think they'll be fine anyway, because
it's mainly, I think, the castle age where the Huns will have an advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like the very early feudal and then imperial age when the Japs have an advantage against them.
Yeah. And then on the final island, we've got Xiaofan for Frantic. He's playing as the Japanese as well. And then Mr. Yo, this time in the green, he's playing as the Spanish. So that's really interesting because we have got the same 3 civs, but they're all sort of
weirdly
like
matched around.
Yeah, matched around in like no 2 civs are on the same island.
But there are some other matchups that we need to consider, right? Vivi's fish. If we want to just go take a look at that.
VV's
in
fish.
the purple.
This is going to be an absolute mess. For the record, before we even get this going, to try and follow everything that's going on here,
this is
going to be really hard. So,
by the way, Vivi is actually really DL. He has 100 different names. His fish are really close to Lix's fish. So they're sort of going to fight each other on water while fighting on land against other players.
That's true, because it alternates around.
But Tim and Xiaofan are together, so their fish are kind of safe together. They can work together to defend. And the same for Yo.
Yeah, that's true. Up in the north, right? Tim and Xiaofan together up here. So it's like this island is flipped over. If Yinghua was down in the south.
But Yinghua is next to Yo, so it's still...
right. You're right.
So it's like this interesting combination of, like, who do you fight on land? Who do you fight on water? Who do you support on water if you don't need to fight anyone? You know, what do you do?
What a mess.
Right.
What a mess.
Crazy.
This map is absolutely madness, Delian, and I don't know how we're gonna do what we can here. We're gonna do our best. But it looks like on the South Island, we've got Yinghua coming forward with 4 villagers to build that archery range. He's like, we must build this archery range now. Last week, this archery range should have been built a week ago.
Yep. Come on, get on it, guys. Stop slacking.
Meanwhile, Vivi is going up really late to feudal.
Just straight fast castle conks.
I know, right? That's ballsy. That is very ballsy from the purple player.
At this point, he should just make a transport ship and go around instead of wasting time making towers and trying to bash your way in.
I agree.
I think maybe he doesn't have the wood for a transport ship. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, he had the wood for blacksmith and a mining camp and a tower, so he definitely had the wood for a transport ship.
Transport would be so much easier, right? Vivi's just re-walling behind it. He's not going to get in instantly with one tower. He has to invest in more towers to follow up on.
Exactly. Now, he might deny a little bit of wood here, but Vivi's just going to wall behind, and Yinghua won't get through this wall in a hurry, because Vivi's got plenty of time to scout this and re-wall it. On the left side, we've got a tower from Tim on the wood line here of Lix. Is it slightly out of range?
I think it should be able to range the 2 vills.
Yeah, it can just get in range.
And I guess just a late game tower. Once he gets fletching and Bodkin Arrow and Castle Age, it'll range the gold as well a little bit. Yeah. So it's just more of an annoyance for later in the game.
And there's the counter tower from Vivi now.
But those archers are in range.
The archers are in range as well. Oh no, Vivi might actually be denied this tower, or at the very least, maybe Yinghua can get his tower up first if those archers keep ranging.
Vivi's bringing more vills. He knows he needs it.
He's rushing it up. He's got to get the tower up, and if that tower completes, which it looks like it will, then yeah, Yinghua's going to have to back up, and he knows he's got to get out of there before he loses his archers for free.
But we can see the Yo is already up to Castle Age on his side. Let's go quickly take a check at this island as well, because there's so many things to pay attention to.
More towers happening over here.
Right.
Mr. Yo taking that stone on the front. Does he not have a stone on the back?
His other stone is denied by...
Oh, this one.
Tower.
Yeah, I see. Yep. Yeah, so he's actually towered that up. This stone's forward for Joe, which is unfortunate, but he's pretty much walled in now. He's even stone-walled this so that he can get to the Castle Age himself.
Transport ships are always a thing, right?
Yes, transport ships are definitely a thing.
Gotta pay attention.
It looks like as well on the water, we've got a few boats coming out. Vivi's lost all of his fish.
Yep, Lix has just come over with a fire galley and killed it.
Every single one of Vivi's active fish just died. So Vivi, you know, very, very, very passive. He's just going for the Castle Age now, but it's really hampered him losing those fish. He's going to get the food he needs because he's buying it from the market. And then once he gets to the Castle Age, he will try and get his castle up. But Vivi's castle time is so much slower than Mr. Yo's. He's 2 minutes behind the green player, who's also Spanish for the SY team.
Same strategy.
Same strat, different player, and Mr. Yo much faster. Mr. Yo, what a god. He's such a beast.
Right. And the safe fish obviously helps.
Well, the safe fish absolutely helps. Those 7 fish there for Mr. Yo. We did see some aggression from Xiaofan on the water, but he's not lost his fish yet. And so Mr. Yo is castle, and his castle will be coming up very soon, but he does need to mine a bit more stone because obviously he had to build more towers and it got denied and all that jazz.
But he'll get there eventually. He's probably going to drop some TCs as well at this point. He's not really under any pressure. He could start to boom a little bit beforehand.
Yep, left side island. What's going on here?
It doesn't look like a lot at this point. They're both just massing archers and skirms. And
staying feudal. Full feudal aggression on this island.
We say aggression, but they're not really being aggressive.
No,
there's a couple of dead bodies here and there, but not a lot.
Making army, at least. I like Tim's position more, though, because he's taken the map control here. He's even adding a stable, and I imagine he'll go castle fairly soon. Maybe, though, Lix will be able to push out if he keeps making units and starts to sort of overwhelm Tim. Have to wait and see. Vivi at the back, still or just trying to mine stone, waiting for that Castle Age upgrade to come in.
Not much. What Ivix just said in the chat really intrigues me. Like, he says real Vivi would have already transported bills to crush somebody else. Like, imagine that. Like, he just walls the front of his base and just went over to Lix's island and trushed Lix.
Just from the back, yeah.
Just from the back, just appeared there.
Trush this wood line back here.
Right.
That would be
That would have been hilarious.
It's definitely something Vivi would try, because we've seen him try it in the past.
Right.
On Descent Ring, I think it was.
Just appears out of nowhere.
Oh, the transport for Yinghua, though.
A little bit too late, though.
Yeah, the castle's coming up. And the TC at the back as well. So, wow, Vivi's like, yep, I'm building a castle, a TC now.
Yep, I need this.
And he will get it just in time, actually, enough to do damage to those archers and push them away.
So why no Mayans on this map? Because they played Mayans in the previous game, they can't repeat any of the civs.
No repeats, and looks like Yinghua is also going to lose his transport ship there. So Vivi doesn't look good in score, but he's certainly stabilized now that he's got the castle up, his second TC. And I imagine Vivi will start to overwhelm Yinghua very soon, because he's still in the feudal age.
He's got the castle. If he can mass enough crossbowmen, he'll be in an okay... He's still only got the one range.
He's not got many, and I don't know. I think Vivi could very quickly push out and kill this here. We'll wait and see on that. Over on the left island, Lix still waiting for the Castle Age. Tim waiting for the Castle Age as well. Double stables from Tim.
Knights and skirms. Nice, classic play.
And then on the right side, Mr. Yo, he's got his first Conquistadors out. His castle was a bit later because he had to mine the stone, but he's got it on the front now. And he'll clean up that feudal age army from Zhaofan, who is also in the Castle Age himself and also going for crossbows. So it's going to be quite similar army compositions on both sides. Here on the top and the south island, it's going to be Conquistadors versus crossbows twice, basically.
Right. And like early game, the crossbows have the advantage simply because of mass. But once you get to like 15 or so Conquistadors, they're fully upgraded with bloodlines and +4 armor.
Yeah.
You can't really kill them easily with ranged units because they're just such tanky beasts.
Yeah, not easily, but it's possible. You just need a lot of crossbows, and you can't afford to lose them either, otherwise it snowballs out of control.
Really quickly.
And then on the left side, it's going to be this sort of crossbow and skirm combo for Lix versus the elite skirm and knights from Tim.
And forward siege.
With a forward siege. So Tim looks like he's winning over here, to be honest, at the moment.
He's being more aggressive, at least. He's not necessarily ahead yet, but at some point he might be.
We'll see, as Lix at the moment is also losing his fish to Tim's fire galleys over here. And if you can take those fish away from the Japanese player, that's good news for you.
For sure.
And on the water, at the moment, Mr. Yo has the most fish. Oh, sorry, no, Zhaofan has the most fish up in the north, followed closely by Mr. Yo. And fishing is obviously going to be a massive boost to your economy. On the north side now, Mangonel pushing forward for Mr. Yo. And not a bad shot. Still too many crossbows there, though, and he's got ballistics as well, I believe. So it's going to be harder for Mr. Yo to push in there without a solid number of units.
Another Mangonel or two, then he might be in a position to push.
Yeah, it's always risky. Once you see your opponent has bloodlines, you want to be ballistics. You want to be absolutely certain that you're going to win those fights.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah.
Oh, that was a bad split
into the Mangonel. That's
unfortunate.
That actually really hurts. Damn. And I think Mr. Yo here is looking good, because as long as he doesn't lose too many Conquistadors here, he should be able to sort of overwhelm Zhaofan. And he's also got the added advantage that his Conquistadors aren't going to be scared of the Mangonels in the same way that these crossbows are, right?
Conquistadors pick them off so quickly.
Exactly.
Oh, but that castle on the front. No. Zhaofan decides, no, that's a little too risky.
But that castle on the front. Oh my
boy.
Goodness. And now Zhaofan's like, right, yeah, let's do a castle standoff here. Mr. Yo is going in.
Oh, let's see the Mangonel shots.
Oh, not too bad, but not great either.
Not trading off the Mangonels.
But look, the Mangonels from Zhaofan immediately going down. Like I say, they're not scared of those, or the Conquistadors are not scared of the Mangonels.
Not at all.
And that's two Conquistadors down for 2 Mangonels.
And a couple of crossbows.
That's so good for Mr. Yo. And Mr. Yo's castle will go up very quickly. Spanish builders, everyone. Throwing that castle down on the front, and Zhaofan's really going to struggle now. His TC is coming under fire. and it's going to be very difficult for him to stabilize here. Even a couple of villagers, or even a villager going down as well. What's happening over here? Looks like
Vivi's just running around a little bit with these conks, trying to do damage, but being forced back by the stone walls at this point. Maybe a transport ship at some point would be good.
See, this is how you deal with it, right? Yinghua stone walling up, blocking off the choke point, making sure that Vivi can't pressure him too much. And Xiaofan, on the other hand, kind of wide open, couple of palisades.
Right,
it's so easy for Mr. Yo here, right? So
Xiaofan's up to Imp. If he gets some Trebs and Arbalests, he might be able to push this back. But he's is he a 1 TC Imp at this point?
Yep, pretty much. Maybe a Sling could come in here. Maybe
he has
some
11
support.
fish, so he's got a little bit of an economy to back it up, but not a lot.
Oh, and on the left side, we kind of missed this a little bit here, but it looks like Tim made an attack onto Lix. Lix is down to 13 military. Tim's at 16, but Tim still with most of the map control on that island, and it looks like he's killed off one of the archery ranges.
But the castle just sort of pushed him back, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing as well here. Looks like Lix is very much on the defensive, and Tim... Oh, Tim!
Ooh.
Getting raided by Yinghua!
He's like, Vivi can't hurt me. I'm just going to go harass somebody else.
Wow. Tim's going to clean that up, though, very easily here with the knights.
Quite a bit of idle time, though, and all those farmers and lumberjacks.
That's cool. I like that. I love that element of the game where you could just go and transport some of your army across.
And just go say, I'm going to attack this other dude.
Yeah, maybe it's a good idea for Vivi to try and raid Mr. Yo, but Vivi, other things to focus on right now is he's broken through the walls of Yinghua. He's going to come in here and take out that Mangonel, instantly taking it out from the hill and starting to raid Yinghua. I bet he wishes he kept those crossbows at home now.
Well, 5 crossbows probably wouldn't do that much against this number of conks. He's trying to rush up a tower as well.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. The Spanish on both sides starting to dominate now.
Right, and Yo's up to Imp as well. He's not that far behind. Just 2 minutes behind Xiaofan.
Got enough for one Treb.
Yep. Not ideal. He doesn't have the economy to back up his fast Imp.
No, he doesn't. He's got 70 vills and 1 fish. That's a very weak economy for this sort of play.
But Vivi, that's
sorry,
good,
that's the wrong player. I meant
45 vills. Yeah.
I meant Xiaofan even. That's even lower. 44 and 11. But 11 fish isn't bad, but it's still... He's got the lowest villager count in the game right now.
And no extra TCs either.
No, and he's got that 1 Treb to try and take out this castle and relieve the pressure. However, he does get Arbalest. He can pick off that Mangonel, and with the additional range, he can start to pick off those conks as well. So this isn't too bad for Xiaofan, mostly because he kept enough crossbows alive here that the Arbalest are going to make quite an impact. He has to kill this castle, and he's already got the upper hand because his Treb's out first. I think the castle's going down.
Yeah, but Yo still has a castle back at home as well, right? So he can lose this first castle and just use it to stall out and prevent Xiaofan from doing any damage to his economy, and then overrun him later with a better Imperial Age economy, more units.
Maybe.
Skirms, maybe. Yep, we see the skirm switch happening right now.
Yeah, so skirm's coming in. But yeah, Mr. Yo is losing a bit of momentum here, and I guess he's going to save the castle just with those villagers. It should go down now with the second Treb, but this TC on the left side also taking a little bit of damage. It's just disgusting how quickly conks pick off Mangonels, isn't it? Crazy. On the left side though, Tim with the forward castle. That's a Tim play. And I don't know who's winning this game. I think it's still very close.
It's not like who's winning each island.
Yeah, right.
It's more the question that you need to look at.
Well,
Tim is winning his island. He's up to... No, he's not up. Yep, Tim is up to him now.
Yeah. Lix is up to Imp as well, but...
I feel like Tim's in a better position.
Tim's in a good position because, whoa, there's a lot of dead stuff back here. Oh, it looks like Tim...
transported knights, maybe?
Yeah, I think he got
through. Does Lix have any gold income at the moment?
Sorry, I'm just looking at Lix's army dying. No, Lix's gold
only
is
on the front, which the castle
mostly denied.
Kinda somewhat denied. So he's going to have problems.
He's losing a lot to these knights as well. All those villagers off the wood line, look. And, oh, some samurai. Nice. Good stuff.
Oh, I didn't expect to see those.
Looks like Vivi's winning his side just. And it looks like Tim's winning his side just. Where it looks like Mr. Yo should be winning his side. But Xiaofan is definitely
a little bit
coming back into it.
So it sort of looks like Frantic is head on 2 out of the 3 islands, basically, at this point.
Yeah.
And this one's sort of a 50-50 at this point.
I'd say Frantic are definitely in the lead at the moment. And we'll see if the SY team can sort of get it together. I don't know. Lix here will have the edge with the Imperial Age, so we should see the Treb coming out, but Tim might be able to defend this castle for long enough. And the main thing, like I said earlier, is he's got all this map control. He's not under any pressure at all.
And he's got so many more villages.
Yeah.
Like 30 villas up on his opponent.
He's TCing it up. He's really just locking it down. Got to make sure he can't really get raided.
Oh,
And always denying the castle on the left side
That's
as
so
well. Unbelievable.
Right, because Lix really needs that gold income.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that's why he needs that castle.
Gold on the front is really poorly saturated. And he risks that, being hit by that castle. If Tim gets Bracer.
Yeah, those villas are going to start dying pretty quickly. Alright,
So
Tim just hit him. Lix is probably thinking, oh no, this is a problem.
Oh, Tim could also go for the Treb here if he sent all of his knights in, but I guess he doesn't want to risk that. I think he's also hurting his own knights here.
Yeah, he's slowly killing them.
He's killing them off slowly.
They are on a hill though, so they're not taking as much damage. Which is nice.
There you go, he's
Okay,
brought them back.
he's
He's realized.
Before he lost any, that was good. Okay, these skirms are going to be really dangerous though. What is Zhao Fan going to do to counter skirms? His own skirms. Okay, I guess that's fair enough.
Samurai. No!
Yeah, no.
He's not making them. Well, to be honest, Samurai actually aren't too bad. But it's very easy for Mr. Yo to tech switch again. I don't know.
Or just make some more conks to back it up,
Yeah,
right?
some Samurai wouldn't be terrible, but I think this is still a bigger mass of units here for Xiaofan. 43 military versus Yo's 34. On the South Island, Vivi looks like he's been repelled a little bit. Yinghua, once again, sort of back in the same position he was 5 minutes ago. Vivi is going up to Imperial. Yinghua already is Imperial, but isn't in a position to push out. And it looks like Yinghua's economy is a bit behind Vivi's as well. Yeah. So Spanish should be able to start getting the upper hand now, I think.
Yeah, well, we're going to see the same thing on this island. The Spanish players switching their skirms to support his army composition against the ranged units your opponent's making. And then, yeah, some problems. And even like the bombard cannons. I saw Yo had a couple before. If he could bring those forward to start to get some shots off on the trebs, maybe against the skirms as well. Wow, he could have a pretty good shot here.
Mr. Yo is so confident that he's winning that fight.
He just marched right up.
He's going as close as he can.
Here are the cannons, though. This is what I was waiting for.
This is great.
Please, you need to shoot the arbs and stuff first, not the trebs, I think.
No. He's going to get one treb. He's going to get the second treb as well. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. The repairs are there. The treb's down, though. And, well, that's 3 cannons for 2 trebs.
The trebs are much cheaper.
Yeah, not the best trade.
No.
And Mr. Yo.
I think it would have been
the
better.
Samurai!
I
told you. Well, he doesn't have defense upgrades, but they're still not a bad unit choice, to be honest.
Oh, they're just in there just tanking a little bit.
Tim sent some resources to Xiaofan to help him here, and I think Xiaofan's sensing he might just be able to get the upper hand. Guard towers coming in.
Japanese defensive towers.
Get Yasama, and even Keep coming in for Xiaofan as well here. I love it. But Mr. Yo, no, I think the Cap Rams, I still think that more Samurai would be a good choice for the red player.
Cavalier switch coming in from Yo. If this isn't scouted, he's just going to destroy everything. Like, if you don't expect to see Cavaliers, and then, there's
no way
20
he's
of them.
scouting that.
Oh, boy.
Where even is the stable from Mr. Yo?
Yeah, we got one.
They're all on this left side, out of sight.
Sneaky, out of the way.
Yeah, very nice. On this South Island, it's still a bit of a stalemate in the middle. And then on the left side, Tim is dominating.
Destroying Lix, it looks like.
Look at this. He's got complete island control. Lix is backed into the corner. He's surrounded.
How soon are we going to see transport? Okay, he's spamming some docks. He wants transport ships as quickly as possible.
Get out of there.
Yep.
But where does he go? If you're Lix right now, where do you go?
Yo's island, probably? I think he's in the best position. He's most likely to win his island, so you go over there.
But you've not got much space. You've not got many resources.
Well, if and when Yo kills Xiaofan, you just go take his base.
In theory, yes. We'll see if he can get away. Looks like Tim might even end up scouting these docks before the transport ships come out. He's not seen them yet.
He's sort of distracted by all the other villages that he can kill.
He's getting so many kills. Look at Tim's KD. It's 2-1 right now. He's got the most kills in the game. He's absolutely gutted out Lix's economy.
And Lix can only carry 5 villages at a time on his transport ships.
He can. Feels Lix, man.
No careening.
This isn't Age of Empires 3. You can't put 50 units in a boat.
No, you can't do that.
And oh boy, Vivi, not looking too bad over here. Doesn't really have a solid answer to the Rams. He's doing his own Rams now. And
he does quite a bit more military.
Yeah.
I think. All those skirms in front tanking, and then the conks coming up behind it.
Rams are still a bit of a problem, but they've been dealt with now. The Trebs, however, going down for VV. That means he can't really push here very well, because it's hard to push into something like this.
Let's just think about what's going to happen for the next couple of minutes, though. Tim has pretty much won his island.
Yes.
And he's got a ton of Cavaliers running around.
Transport them.
Where are they going to go? Yeah.
You got to send them across into the back of VV's base or something.
Well, Tim's on VV's base.
Tim's on VV's team.
Yep.
In the back of
Yinhua's base. Or the back of Yo's base, because he's winning, right?
Anywhere, to be honest. It doesn't really matter.
Getting Paladin. Tim's like, I'm going all in. They're going to go kill people with Paladin.
I like it. And meanwhile, Mr. Yo starting to dominate his Xiaofan. So if Mr. Yo wins this, that means that Xiaofan's dead. And Tim won his island, which means Lix is dead, which means it's kind of now a 2v2 with two players being on the wrong islands in a way.
Yeah. And then the important fight is then Vivi against Yinga.
Yeah.
Who wins that one? That's like the deciding island.
This is like the best of three, the decider in a way, right? But not necessarily, because this could very quickly change.
That's a lot of Rams.
That is. I was going to say that this could change very quickly if, for example, Tim was to go and raid Yo.
Or if Yo raids.
Or, yeah.
Right, it goes either way, whoever does it first.
Yeah, that could make a big difference here. But let's see. Yinhua's pushing in hard with these Rams. It's really the ideal siege unit here for the blue player.
Against all this ranged army. They just sit there, they throw their spears, they deal one damage at a time.
Exactly, and he's taking the Trebs out, he's stalling VV's push, and those Rams can tank for days. The problem is, his own army can't really kill the skirms very effectively, and even the conks, because they're up on a hill, these cavalry archers, they're not really killing it.
He's sort of blocked himself into his base. The wall that he has there at the top, trapping his army inside, he's getting some really weird pathing.
That's true, yeah.
Trying to snipe
and there's a bombard cannon here, which is that took out one of the Trebs actually. And now we've got some pikes coming in as well.
The conks could take out the other Trebs pretty quickly as well if the pikes weren't there.
Look how quickly those pikes took down the conks. But this is still good for Yinhua because he is going to start pushing back this castle. If he can kill this castle, it's not going to happen though. He's going to lose these Trebs. There's another cannon coming, and the conquistadors, man, sitting here blasting them away.
Look at Lix's population at the top of the screen. 26 out of 15.
Building some houses. Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Oh dear, oh dear. But Mr. Yo winning here over here.
He's also doing Paladin, but he's not pushing as quickly as Tim. And is that transport ships?
Yep, there we go. Transport ships over here.
How many Paladin
moving
coming
across in the minimap? 20 Paladin.
Just out of nowhere.
Dropping into Yinhua's eco. And Yinhua thought, okay, this fight's not going too bad. Well, now he's screwed.
Now he's got some problems.
Right here, 20 Paladins.
And where are these villagers going? Are they trying to like wall them in or something? Or is he going for the wood line?
I've no idea. He's going for the wood line, okay.
Just send more villagers to their death, that's fine.
No problem. And okay, this is either going to gut out Yinhua's economy or kill a lot of his army. Although, actually,
it could do both.
There's a few halbs here, and he's going to bring those over quite quickly.
But while this is happening,
huge distraction, and now, yeah, exactly, Vivi can just push straight in.
Oh boy.
This is great for Frantic.
This game is pretty much decided by Yo and Tim, who has killed their island faster, basically.
Yeah, and the answer to that was Tim.
Yeah.
So Tim, last game, I think Tim's performance was he played well mechanically. He had good stats at the end of the game, but I don't think he made the right choices last game. This game, he won his island, he sent his paladins across, and the damage is huge because look at the progress that Vivi's made at the same time. That coordinated attack making all the difference.
And I think also some of that has to do with the fact that Lix just sort of rolled over and died. Whereas Xiaofan is doing everything he can to stay in this game.
I love the fact that Vivi's bringing his villagers in to kill the Rams. Like, he's done supremacy, and he's bringing the Vills in to kill the Rams. Like, that's the only unit he has to kill the Rams.
At this point, yeah. He's got one Megan out the back as well, and that's it.
That's so funny. That's such a Vivi play, you know? But yeah, you're right. Xiaofan, he's still holding against Yo, only just. But the point is, he's not dead.
Right,
and that's
stalling out.
Exactly. That's completely allowed Tim now to take over this island, mine out the extra gold. Maybe he can sling some over. Maybe he can do something else. But
Yo's trying to help out.
Wow.
Honestly, I feel like the raiding transport ship is better than just sending it into the front of the army. Because if 20 Paladin can kill 30 villagers, I feel like that's just going to stall him out so quickly because he just loses so much resource income.
But the Paladins are exactly what Yinghua needs to actually push this back. You know, this is the perfect sort of unit composition
Tim's
now.
here with Galleons.
That's okay. It's not many though. I think the Paladins from Mr. Yo are going to be huge here. And obviously Yinghua's got quite a few rams as well. So if you can bring them in and start taking out these buildings, maybe. This is a great like tug of war in the middle here for this island. This one still could go either way if Tim reinforces with more Paladins, for example. But it looks like Tim isn't actually
making
any more military at all. He's going full water now.
And Yo's trying to do both at the same time, it seems.
Yeah, he's got some galleons here on the left side as well. They did end up killing Tim's galleons also. And look, now the Rams have made it all the way to the castle. And Vivi is starting to lose these buildings. So this is a great play by SY. They've really started to push this island back. Oh, and there's the landing. As if.
It's just out of the middle of nowhere.
3 Trebs.
Just appear out of a transport ship.
Bam, your TC's dead.
I like this though, because if Trebs get threatened, pack them up, jump in the transport ship and go away. And just appear somewhere else.
It's brilliant.
It's just a drive-by Treb shooting thing.
I don't know what this is, but it's fantastic. And meanwhile, yeah, it looks like Vivi here, getting the Onager upgrade, but it's a little bit late. That castle will go down. Starting to lose control of there, but in the back of Yinghua's base, he's starting to lose his eco
a little bit
to the Trebs of death.
Not that far behind Vivi in terms of economy, right? It's 70 to 90 bills. Like 20 bills is a lot, but not the end of the world. No, don't go forwards, go back. Come on, Trebs, get in the transport ship and go away. Sail away, please.
Maybe he didn't get the memo that that's how he was supposed to play it. I don't know.
I had dreams. I had a dream of the drive-by Treb shooting.
Now, well, it was, I don't know, was it effective? It killed 2 TCs, probably killed some Vills. It was fun.
It did its job, for sure, but it could have been so much better.
But what I'm looking at now is Tim's naval control. How is Mr. Yo going to make more landings to influence these battles if Tim controls the water?
Right, that's true.
I don't think he will. And it looks like they will completely clean up Xiaofan, although Xiaofan's still fighting,
right?
Still making rams to try and kill Yo here. He won't be able to hold on forever, but Tim is going to do a lot of damage from the water now.
Yeah, and he's just going to slowly spread around. He's denying any trade, whereas now the Frantic team, they can trade on Tim's island, right?
Oh, they could,
They could set up some markets in the top corner and the bottom corner and just...
It wouldn't be worth much, but it would be better than
anything else you can do, right?
Right, yeah. That's amazing. I like it a lot. And, well, it looks here like Vivi might have just lost too much momentum. He's being completely overwhelmed by Yinghua, even though Yinghua's eco is being raided by Trebs and Paladins and boats.
Yeah, but Tim is
still got the momentum.
Though, so it's looking like he's taking back into some land military. We might see another Paladin landing coming in.
Yeah,
soon.
He is making more Paladins. There are 3 transport ships coming and some villagers.
Ooh, okay.
So maybe he's thinking to land back here and try and sort of... wait, no, I'm still getting confused with who's on whose team. But, I mean, he either goes for Yinghua's economy, or he comes back here and supports Vivi.
Probably best to try to kill Yinghua. Because if they're both dead, then it's sort of even. But, like, if your supporting army doesn't save Vivi, right, then he's still going to die. Whereas just sacrifice him and try to kill the other player and make it equal. I feel like that might be a better play.
Yeah, probably. I mean, at this point in the game, Xiaofan is dead. He's going to die.
Well, he's transporting his vills at the moment, I think. I hope. He's got a transport ship, yeah. His vills, they're making a migration.
Okay, he's going to go to Tim's island.
For sure.
Maybe, yeah, he's already over here. He'll probably build some stuff down here in Lix's old base. And I love this. It's brilliant. But Tim, absolutely the MVP for Frantic this game so far. Mr. Yo also yet again.
Honestly, I think Xiaofan should be the MVP.
You think?
Yeah. Because he's just been... It's an hour in, and he's been dead for the past half hour, but he's still on his island with military.
Yeah.
Right? This is forced... he couldn't just pick up, 30 Paladin and move. He had to stay there. He had to keep pushing back. And... Okay. Well, this landing is pretty dangerous too, but...
I love it. I love it. I love Tim. Tim is great. Tim is brilliant. Look at him. Oh, GG called. I didn't even see that in the chat, but they did call it there. Yeah. Awesome.
Wow.
Well, there you have it. Well, I think you've got a good point. I think Zhao Fan could be considered the MVP. He didn't completely roll over and die to Mr. Yo there, and he put up a really good defense long enough that he could keep Mr. Yo busy while Tim, meanwhile, went around the map and raided everything. This map was crazy. It was really hard to sort of follow everything that was happening. There was too much happening all over the place. But I love the concept of sort of 3 simultaneous 1v1s, the water aspect coming into it as well. Then on top of that, you've got the potential for like sort of these raiding plays with transport ships, as you can see from Tim landing in the back of Yinghwa's base, as we saw earlier from Mr. Yo coming in to support Yinghua. And this south side island was really the one being fought for hard. And even though in the end Yinghua looked like he was going to win it, with the military he had, it doesn't matter because Tim, who won his island so long ago, is able to do so much more in the long run.
Yeah, I think if Yo had been able to land at the same time as Tim, the game would have been equal. But he couldn't afford to just pick up everything and leave his island because of Zhao Fan.
Yeah, that's true. Man, what a cool game. What a cool map. Let's take a quick look at the stats here. Enemy Archipelago. Remember that one. Mr. Yo had the most units killed.
For sure. Well, Zhao Fan had made more military to die, right?
True. And then look at Tim's KD.
Still pretty good.
That's pretty impressive.
But look, Lix's number of deaths compared to Zhao Fan, right?
Oh yeah, it's a big difference. It's almost like, hey, Zhao Fan, you lost more than Lix. Well done.
Yeah.
Well,
that's literally
exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Tim with a huge eco and a lot of tribute as well. 26,000 resources sent.
That's insane. Well, I'm guessing he was sort of propping up Zhao Fan.
Yeah, so I think Tim may have been the MVP anyway.
Okay,
because
that's fair.
Zhao Fan didn't do that on his own. That was Tim's doing.
Okay,
right?
He's slung him 18,000 resources. Yeah,
that's pretty huge. He also sent quite a bit to, I guess over to Vivi here. So, good play by Tim there. He really did a good job. He dominated his island, and then he supported his teammates very well.
Yeah, super good job.
Awesome. So it's 1-1. It's tied up, and the third map will be our decider. We've got Descent Ring coming up next, and oh boy, I remember Descent Ring from the good old Nation Cup days.
Oh, back in the day.
Oh yeah, I played this map a lot.
Well.
I played this map more than I care to admit. We practiced hard on this map. But thank you to ESOC TV for the raiding party. 128 viewers coming in from them. Appreciate that. Welcome to Escape TV and welcome to the ECL. It's our sort of premier Age of Empires 2 tournament that's going on at the moment.
Sorry, interjection. I know you really wanted to see Enemy Archipelago, but you kind of just missed it, unfortunately.
Maybe we'll see it again. I mean, this is the first set of the day. We've actually got 4 sets today total. 3 more sets after this. So there's a very good chance to see Enemy Archipelago again. Thank you to Decepti for the 4-month resub as well. We are going to get Descent Ring going right about now, I think.
Okay.
Robo's going to go over there and launch it up. He's going to slide away into the background. And Descent Ring.
Forwards.
So I like this map. I think it's cool, but I do think it's much more of a mechanical map. In team game, it plays a little bit differently, but we'll talk about that once we get into it. So here we go.
Here we go into Decent Ring.
Decent Ring, Descent Ring.
Descent Ring, Decent Ring, it's all the same.
It's all the same to Robo.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. Game number 3, Frantic versus SY. This is such an important series because the winner of this is going to go through to the semi-finals and score themselves points. Points mean sort of, solidifying their position in P2, potentially, in the the standings.
Up near the top, but it's also earns you a bit of money too.
Yeah,
so
also there's prize money. I mean, who could forget that? I forget that all the time. I always I always forget to tell the viewers that they're playing for prize money.
Right. There is money involved as well. It's not just some internet points or anything like that.
Although there are a lot of points.
There are points as well, but money is also pretty important too.
Yeah, to motivate the teams and the players, of course. But this is Descent Ring, and we're currently tied up at 1-1 in this best of 3. This is the third and final map of the series, and one of these Chinese teams will go forward here, and one will score nothing and win no money either. Just, throwing that out there.
I'm pretty sure that the winner of this game guarantees their team about $500.
That's pretty good. It's just over $100 dues each.
Yeah, which is pretty good. And then, if they win the next round, it goes up to nearly 1,000, I think.
Yep, doubles. And then if you win the grand finals, you're rich.
Almost doubles again. So, everything on the line here.
Yeah, thanks Microsoft for the prize fund for this tournament. And thanks everyone for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hopefully you are enjoying the games as much as we are here. So, Descent Ring, what's it all about? Everybody spawns on these tiny, teeny, tiny islands. And they will build a lumber camp here. They will build a town center here. And they will start the game here.
Well, they don't always build a town center on
Not
the island.
always, but in 1v1 they do.
Yep, for sure.
And in team game, some players will, and other players will sometimes go out to the edge. We'll take a look at that as we go through the players here. But on the east side of the map, playing for Team SY, we have Yinghua. He's actually in the pocket for his team, technically. And he's playing as the Indians in the blue. To his south, in the teal, it's Lix. He's playing as the Chinese. Chinese are great civ for this map because they start with more villagers. They can collect the wood faster and build the town center faster.
So it sort of solidifies their villager advantage. Normally, they're like 2 villas ahead.
Yeah.
On this sort of map, you can easily be 5 or 6 villas ahead if you have a really good start.
Oh, yeah. Look at the villager count for Lix, 7. And look at the villager count for his teammates, 4 and 3. Right. Chinese, absolutely huge on this map. And then, to the north of Yinghua's island, it's nothing. It's deserted.
There's
it's
Mr.
gone.
Yo's lumber camp, and that's it.
Because Mr. Yo, he decided, nah, I'm getting out of here, and going to build my TC on the edge of the map instead. Right.
So this is a sort of a standard play. For this sort of map, one player, generally the best cavalry civilization per team, goes to the outside, and they sort of try to control the bigger land mass. They drop their TC there, they boom on the land instead of fish booming, and leave the other 2 players to contest the water.
Absolutely, and contesting the water can be really valuable because if you win the water, then any villagers that are created from this initial TC get stranded and die.
Yeah, basically.
Unless they are already transported out to the edge.
And it's a huge pain trying to transport 5 villagers at a time back and forth, right? You've got 30 villagers on this island. You got to take 6 trips, and that's time that you could be spending doing other stuff.
Yeah, transporting in AoE 2 is fiddly and annoying, but the Chinese player is usually the one to stay at the very least because they're going to be looking to get up to the feudal age quickly with that villager lead from the start.
For sure.
They're looking to get out on the water quickly and kill fish and kill transports if they can get them. That's a huge bonus. So we've seen Team SY. They're playing to the east of the map. And then to the west, we have, I guess in the north, actually, we've got Vivi. He's playing as the Chinese in the purple for Team Frantic. In the pocket, we've got Tim. He's playing as the Indians in the red. And then on the south, the empty island of ECL, who is playing as the Persians in the yellow, and he's gone and built his TC out on the edge there.
Right. Persians and Malians, they're both pretty good cavalry civilizations. Full knight line, full camel line. So, yeah, we see what's happening there.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Persians and Malians, as you say, on the edge. It's going to be Chinese and Indians in the middle. And that should be quite close, actually. That should be quite close. I do, if you had to choose between the Malians and the Persians, I kind of like the Malians a little bit more. I think their eco is a little better, thanks to the wood savings they get, especially if you consider water as well as being a factor.
It sort of goes both ways. Like the Persians, if they're on water, are a better water civ.
That's true.
Their docks have more HP. Their docks work faster, so they make boats faster. But I think especially in like Castle Age, I think the Marleans have an advantage. But once you get to Imp, like Paladins are pretty good.
Yes, that's
if
they
you
could
get to
take
the
over the game then.
extreme late game, War Elephants could be an option.
Yeah, let's
Right.
let's not talk about War Elephants
Okay,
yet.
let's not talk about War
We're
Elephants.
still like an hour and a half away from that point.
Right, well, it could happen. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
consideration when you pick your civs.
Sure. I mean, they could all delete their TCs and resign as well, but
Well, I hope not. That would be a bit disappointing for the final game.
would be. But they're not going to do that, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so at the moment, everyone's still Dark Age, but the Feudal Age should be coming in pretty soon, most notably for Lix and for Vivi. They'll probably squeeze out 1 or 2 more vills and then go up. And in fact, I think Vivi will be up after this villager here. He'll force drop food and should probably just about have the food to go up here. I think he'll be fine. He's got the water buffalo,
Maybe.
and he's gonna force drop. Hello, Vivi.
He's trying to.
Yeah,
There
he's
we
got
go.
it. There you go. He's up. And at the same time, pretty much as you click up to feudal, he's going to send a transport villager out with 5 villagers in it, and he's going to go out to the edge of the map to build a lumber camp just to secure the wood income because
There's not a lot on these islands, right?
exactly
You've got to start preparing for the future.
you've got to, especially once you get feudal and you research bitter axe, you're
Right.
going to tear through the wood on this island. And if you're going for water, you need to secure wood income because you can't build more docks and you can't build ships without a solid amount
The
of
worst
wood.
thing that can happen is you run out of wood on your island and you spend the next 4 minutes transporting every single villager to the outside. And during that time, you've got no income. You can't make anything at all.
And you
and
will
you
lose
sort of-
water control
Yeah,
at
you're
that
sort
point.
of stuck there saying, "Oops, I made a mistake."
Yeah, and I like this map because it's so punishing. This map does not allow you to make mistakes. If you make mistakes on this map, you lose.
Right, yeah. It's an incredibly
You can't-
high skill level in terms of like mechanics.
Yeah, it's
you
not
have to
like
know what you're doing.
Even in Arabia, it's kind of a punishing map, but if you make a mistake, you can stone wall if you really have to.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it in this game. Like, you have to mechanically be better, otherwise things can very quickly go wrong. That's
like-
sort of not so bad in a team game, but in 1v1 especially, it's
Well,
really
yeah,
tough.
we saw some games in 1v1 stage where the game was over in like 16 minutes
Yeah.
because one person was just so much better at the map. They're up faster, they had more military out, more villagers going.
Right, so what I'm worried about now is Yinghua. Where's his feudal age?
It's not happening.
He's still queuing vills. He's got 700 food in the bank. It's like he's not in a rush. He's like, feudal age can
He's
wait.
even using Yo's transport ship.
Oh, he is actually. I didn't realize
Did
that.
he lose his transport ship maybe?
Maybe. Did he lose it?
He's got
oh,
2
he's
deaths.
got 2 deaths. He must have
He
done.
must have lost his
So
transport.
he must have lost his transport. To
and then he
someone's
lost a
TC.
villager to a boar? Question mark?
Maybe. I
'Cause
don't
he got
know.
2 deaths. Unless he lost the transport ship with a
a
villain.
villager in it.
That would be horrible.
I don't know. Could be. But there's too much going on around the map to spot everything. So apologies for that. But Mr. Yo will bail him out and send the
Where
villagers
are those-
across. Where are they going?
Are they like...
They're
horde
going. I
villagers?
think they're up to no good. I think they're going to try and. They're going on the outside.
So he's not
Oh,
going
they're going-
behind Yo. So he's going like forward
Yeah,
sneak villagers.
They're 2 sneak vills. But that means that basically SY are going to be sort of forfeiting water. Because
Completely.
Lix cannot win the water on his own against Tim and Vivi.
No. And now Yunghau's going to have huge problems because he doesn't have a transport ship. He's not feudal age. He's going to lose these villagers on this TC at some point, right? They
Yeah.
can't get to the mainland. They're sort of just trapped here now.
Oh, hello.
He's losing his TC to fire galleys, it seems, as well.
So Yinghua's late feudal age, and the sneak villagers coming up to the top. Now this is going to be interesting. Archery range here.
Is Indians archers?
It's weird, but I think it's because Mr. Yo is probably going to
Oh,
fast
do
castle
cavalry
into
anyway.
knights. So they're thinking knights and archers together. Maybe we'll see Yinghua fast castling into
looks like it.
crossbows. But they're going to sacrifice water to do this. And I don't think SY are in a position to sacrifice water. This TC, and even Mr. Yo's TC can be ranged from the water if the Frantic team go for galleys.
Right.
And they're already making
And
the galley
not
switch.
just that, you're giving the Frantic team a free fish boom, right?
Essentially,
They'll,
yeah.
they'll make, 10 to 15 military each, secure water, spread out, deny docks and stuff, and then they're just going to make a ton of fish each and just happily have a huge economy.
Oh boy, oh boy. This is a fascinating approach from SY, and I don't know why they're taking this approach. I think they're like thinking, well, we need to play outside the box, but I don't know why they feel that way, because they're strong players. They can beat Frantic and just pound for pound, you know.
Descending has its box because that's how the map is played.
In a way.
Right? The map has been played for, 4 or 5 years now competitively. The meta is pretty well worked out.
Yeah.
Might as well delete their TCs and resign.
Well, Mike, I didn't think I'd say this, but maybe you're right.
Yeah, maybe.
On the left side, CL on the way up to the Castle Age. A little bit of towering from Lix here, and Lix actually ended up denying that gold.
So he's sort of given up on water as well. He's decided, okay, well, if my ally isn't doing water either, I'm not going to bother as well.
Man, SY are full land right now. It's painful because it looks like Lix will end up losing this transport at some point. We already know that Yinghua lost his transport, and Yinghua has like 15 villagers on this island. Lix has even more on this island, and they stand to lose all of them.
Or even if they're not lost, they just can't really work efficiently, right?
Oh, he's killing the water buffalo and everything.
How BM is that?
Tim's like, yeah, I'll just take what I can get.
No food for you.
But they've got everything banking on this land push.
Right. But the thing is, Vivi's got stone walls, right? Is that fully walled on that north side?
Yep, looks fully walled, but maybe wait, what?
Okay, well, he's scouted it now, hopefully. Okay. But if he sends a villager there, he might get cut off by the archers.
Maybe, or the knights from Yo, which are coming out now as we anticipated. So, I mean, I'm expecting Vivi might lose a lot of villas on this wood line pretty soon. I mean, this sneak is completely unknown. He has no idea that that's
come
there.
In and that was
he
pretty
nearly
close.
scouted it with the water buffalo. Oh my goodness.
But like, imagine if those crossbows come in and deny when Vivi tries to make a TC, right?
Anything.
Yeah, they just run in, kill them all off. Could be big.
What is Lix doing? It's like a train of archers going all the way around the map here.
I feel
he's fighting.
I think he's looking for sneaks.
Yeah, maybe. And he'd be right, because there is kind of a sneak up here from CL. And actually, there it is. The stable from the yellow
another
player.
One up to the top left as well.
On the upper side of the map, a monastery. And there's the knights. They're coming in as well. So CL striking first with his sneak. Gonna hit Yinghua's
He can't afford
here.
to lose villagers on the outside. He's only got 4 of them. He can't afford to lose any of them.
Oh! The TC.
It's up though.
It's up.
Oh no. That's bad.
Boy, on the left side, this is huge. He gets it up.
And if this other TC goes up,
if they can get that, focus. Four villagers here. 4 villagers here. Go.
If he micros the villas, he might get it up.
He should have sent the villagers earlier, Robo. That TC could get denied now. Yeah, I think that's it. That's a doubt TC if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, but I think he's still in a favorable position. Right. He is in a position to make TCs. Yinghua isn't.
That's true. Yinghua has no eco. He's got...
Oh no, he's going to make a TC now.
There we go. Well, still knights killing villagers.
Right.
And
he's not good at all.
This eco here will eventually die, I
Where's
assume.
Where's going with that transport ship?
Tim's trying to head him off, I think. Oh boy, what a messy game. I mean, these maps are really, really messy. Where are the knights from Yo as well? That's what I want to know. I think he's sending them... Yeah, there you go. He's sending knights and camels here to head off the knights of CL. And both of them without upgrades.
No.
The war galleys! The war galleys going to deny this TC! Are you kidding me?
Okay,
they're
he's
just going
out of range now, but they're just
going to range the TC, man.
Destroy it over time.
Oh, okay, well, he's going back. I mean, the thing is for Tim's got too many targets. He's like, do I kill this TC? Do I kill this TC? Do I kill this one? Wait, it's already gone.
He deleted it and built it on the outside, I guess.
So
smart move.
I still don't think this is good for SY at all.
Like, Yo is really the only player who's still in this game. And yeah, he has the biggest build count in the game, but he doesn't have a lot of army out there. And he can't 1v3.
Oh, CL with the monk. He's going to go for the conversion. Is he converting the camel? Nope, the camel got deleted.
He was converting the camel because the monk instantly stopped converting.
So clever play by Yo. Yo knew that he would be going for the camel there, deletes it, and, well, I guess he's still going to be ran out of town. But, yeah, CL here, being raided by the crossbows at the back. He's got some towers up, but it's still losing a few villagers. And Yinghua, credit to him, still managing to get 10 kills, which is more than Lix this game so far. And unfortunately just...
Well, to be fair, Lix was trying to fight on water before he realized, oh, I'm by myself.
True. And I don't think he realized he was all by himself. I think they came to this game with a strategy, but it's not working out for them.
Is that forward something? Vivi?
Vivi's going to do a castle.
Yeah.
Have the stone.
Fair enough.
There you have it.
100 stone and there it goes.
Wow. What a messy game. SY, though, really on the... I don't know what to say, really. They're on the back foot. They're
really on the ropes at this point.
They really are. I mean, what can they do at this point? They're really just relying on Mr. Yo to essentially, like, win the game from here. Like, okay, we've done what we can. We lost the water. We didn't really do much damage with our sneak. And now, Mr. Yo, we need to save us because we've not got anything left.
Yeah, basically.
We've got no eco.
My crossbows are trying to break down a stone wall.
Yeah.
To be fair, we did it, but we're dying to
be fair, we did it. I love it. And,
we got the wall. We did it. It's open. You can come kill him whenever you want to. Oh, wait, there's a castle on your front.
Uh-huh. Chukanu coming out. And Lix. 23 vills, okay, for Yinghua. 38 vills for Lix. They both got less than everyone on the other team. And like CL is going to absolutely overtake this right side of the map.
The two of them combined almost have as many vills as Vivi.
Yep.
Right.
There you go.
They're just ahead of Vivi.
I love that CL added some monks as well. That's really nice. And we even got, oh wow, a Malian monk. Look at that.
They're pretty
holding
fancy.
his scripture. I like those monks. I think they're really cool. I love the way they move.
I think all the regional monks are so cool. I think it adds so much flavor to all the civs, giving them their own special guys.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's got like this really big scroll.
And it looks like he's got a big beard as well.
Has he?
I think, well, Nair's facing away
from
us,
he's got a big beard. He definitely has a big beard. Anyway, not so worried about the beard, more worried about Vivi's raid onto Mr. Yo's economy.
Yeah, but five Chukanus can be cleaned up pretty easily by a couple of nights, I think.
Yeah, that's true, but
he needs his knights
making
in the bottom,
camels
right?
for a start, and he's got no upgrades.
Oh, and look at CL, he's also stonewalling off the corner. And Yo's just like, nope, I'm out. I'm
Over
done.
here?
Yeah, he's like walling off the corner so they can't trade
Ah,
later in
yeah,
the game.
I see. Yeah.
But Yo's just like, nah, screw this, I'm by myself. I don't want to do this anymore.
That's unbelievable, really. I mean, Yinghua's still trying to do some damage at the back, but it's not enough. Vivi can very easily deal with that. And, I mean, that just all fell apart, I think, really from the start of the game. I think that SY, just by giving up water so quickly, not only did they give the other team the opportunity to fish boom, and also kill a lot of their economy on these islands and prevent their villagers from gathering resources. But they gave Frantic so much space, and they put so much pressure on themselves to do the damage with Yinghua in the back here, that when he couldn't deliver, the game was instantly lost at that point, really. I can't believe they would play like that in a deciding match. Obviously, Frantic are going to be very happy with this. A 2-1 victory secures their place in the semi-finals and means that they will, at the end of this stage, finish above SY in the standings as well. SY will certainly concede that second spot to Frantic now. But I'm just really confused by Frantic's play in the third game here. SY's play in the third game here. I really just thought they would play more standard rather than trying to make the sneak plays and sacrifice the water. It's kind of tricky because it's a really tough map and it's by no means a standard map, but there's certainly a metagame that's developed on this map over the many years that it's been played competitively. And SY trying to break the meta, but unfortunately they broke themselves. And GG called there in the end. Frantic going to take the series 2-1. Just going to take a quick look here at the endgame stats as well. And we can see Tim, once again, sort of the MVP there. He played really well in all of the games today, actually. Tim, really a star player for Frantic and really pulling his weight for his team. Mr. Yo also, the sort of like the star player for SY, I guess, continuing to play well in every game consistently, while his teammates didn't quite bring their A game, I feel. But in the end, as you can see, Mr. Yo's eco, it was okay.
It was pretty good. That's probably the biggest in the game at this point,
Yeah,
considering that he had no fish.
Well, if we look at the eco score, it's third, technically.
Yeah, but like those two Frantic guys, they still had fish, right?
Yeah, that's
considering
true.
that he had no fish, he still had a good economy.
Yeah.
Right? He had the most villages, so he did the best he could with what he had.
He did the best he could, considering he had no option to go for water at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, well played by Frantic. They played the right strat, really, didn't they? And I don't know why SY decided to play that way, but it kind of cost them, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely wasn't the best.
No, it was not. So, we're going to come out of that game, and we're going to have Secret versus VNA up next. And at the moment, we're going to see SY knocked out, and we'll take a look at the brackets here to show you how that looks. Frantic will go forward, and they will actually play against the winner of Secret versus Vietnam Legends. So they're going to be moving forward, and we'll see who wins the next set in a few moments' time. Well, not in a few moments' time, but we'll start the next set in a few moments' time.
Yeah.
We're not in a new room, Chrissy. This is the casting control booth.
Yeah, our office space.
Yeah, we
just don't really see it very often.
Exactly. We're just casting from here because it's a little bit easier to cast ECL from here when it's just Robo and I, rather than all four of us.
Whereas if we go to the casting stage, we need to get a third person in here to control the stream and update all the things. And,
exactly.
You know, it's better spent to have interjection and Ham doing other work-related things at home, editing and miscellaneous jobs.
Exactly. So we've got Secret versus Vietnam Legends up next. We will be back in just a few minutes. We're going to quickly grab a drink and stuff, and we'll be back in 3 minutes' time for our next match. So stay tuned.